When executed correctly, static ads outperform video ads in direct response campaign. Just like in this example, the cost per appointment for video ad is $77 versus the cost per appointment in image ad is $59. The main issue I see every day in Atria, Foreplay, and Meta ads library is most brands misuse them. Even though the format is powerful, simple mistakes like overcomplicating visuals or excessive branding can kill performance. So today, I'm going to walk you through how I approach ads. You will learn what mind shift you need, the image and the copy that drives performance, the static ad format, how to use psychology to make ads that are emotionally resonant. And at the end of the video, I'll give you 5 tips that you can immediately apply right now and see immediate results. It does not matter if you're spending 10K or 200K per month. This video will exactly show you what makes them perform. I'm Azhar. I help brands in health, education, and tech grow with ads based on psychology and systematic creative testing framework. Over the last 10 years, I have managed over 50 million in meta ads with brands like HelloFresh, Kinedo, Synthesis, and many others to help them grow and build a community of over 14,000 marketeers, creative strategists, founders who follow my newsletter to learn how to build winning ad creatives and write messaging that converts and everything that is around ads. Go check out my website if you are looking to scale your ads profitably with a systematic creative testing framework, as well as ads that are built on psychology and deep research. All right, let's start with the mind shift that you need right now. Most people think that ads need to stand out in the feed. That's wrong. They don't need to stand out. They need to blend in. The best static ads feel native. They feel organic. They don't look like ads. And most importantly, they don't scream for attention. As you can see here, this is an actual ad. This looks like part of the feed that is you're going through your Twitter or Thread platform, right? There's another ad that is here. It shows like say goodbye to snoring. And you see like somebody's actually showing snoring with very little messaging. And then you can see here is that like that the text that feels like very much native to the platform. Let me give you an example of an overly designed ad. This is an overly designed ad. So if you see this ad, it's too orange, too much on my eyes. And it's just asking me to register for the webinar. And on the right side, you see this like somebody's there who's going to teach me this free webinar, but like it just feels too branded to me. This is the ad that I have created, and it feels very native. So if you look at this, you will see that it feels there's a lot of empty space. You show a product and you show different spices, and you can see that there are real spices we're talking about. We're having a framing of it, and it also says ready in 2 minutes. So it shows the benefit of convenience. And then it has one headline. The only branded part here is just the color of the brand, and that's also not too much, right? So here's the rule. If your ad looks like an ad, people will scroll past it. Remember when you're watching this YouTube video and suddenly here, this video is sponsored by, and somehow your finger skips it faster than your brain can process it. And yeah, we all do it, right? Because no one wants to sit through something that feels like an ad. And this is what we did. And it has 1.61 CTR, and 71% people clicked on the landing page, which is a good metrics in my opinion. And when you look at the metrics, you will see that this ad is doing really well. Comparatively, this ad has 1.79 per CTR, which is really good. And you know why it works? It works because it has simple visuals, real photos, and it's also minimal design. And most importantly, it has a lot of social proof in the headline already. Why 10,000 chai lovers are switching to this golden milk tea, right? So that is the most important element. Like you actually have to craft an ad with all those things in your mind when you're creating a static ad. You have to put a lot of efforts on those components as well. And in a second, I'll show you another image as well, where we look at the copy again and analyze that one as well. So this is another one. What you can see in this ad is like we have still presented all those spices in there, and we changed the image of it, and it's scannable. This chai helps me sleep like a baby. This is like a desire for almost people in our audience, so it works. And it has a simple CTA that says try glow chai this summer, right? So for me, this is like a butter chicken ad. It's like a highest level of ad. It's very simple, easy, and it melts in your brain like a very scannable information, just like butter chicken does. The most important pro tip in this is that keep your elements the same in the winning ad. So for example, on the for side, you can see these are elements, these spices. They have to be stay there. So you have to find out what is working in your winning ad that you can actually replicate in all image ads. That's gonna only enhance your ROAS and improve the ad. For us, it was these ingredients and how the chai looks, especially in summer. 80% of your performance is the image. If it doesn't scroll stop, it won't be read. Here's an example. Golden milk with spice with 100% caffeine free. Before we started taking account, this was the ad. A lot of elements are very similar, but the biggest thing on the image is, is the output, is the chai itself in it, like how it looks. And this is just a box. So what should I do with the box and packaging? So there's golden milk here. This is more benefit oriented ad as well, but mostly like it scores like 7 out of 10 just because like it has good headline, it has a framing in it, has a CTA as well. But then like it doesn't show the outcome, and that image is a scroll stopper in my opinion. And so you need to have that scroll stopper. And the reason why like this one did not perform as good as this one. The most important thing you need to remember is that if you are in direct to consumer or any other business, you have to make image desirable. And this image on the right is very much desirable. I've seen many advertisers obsess over headline, which is really important. I think we should all obsess over headline. But what I've learned working with a lot of services brand, education brands, as well as tech brands is that you need to, and working with like brands that have gone from 0 to 25 millions, is that subtext also really is important. And the subtext does most of the heavy lifting as well. So for example, here I've written looking for kids to help with dysregulation, but then here it says we are looking for 10 kids who want to be more in control of their emotions. And this is what I know when I was working with this education brand, and we figured out is that emotion is the key word in there. And so that subtext really matters, and it looks like coming out of as research, right? So like it doesn't look like we're looking for sell you, but it looks like we're looking to hire you. And that changes the entire frame, and that subtext is really important in this image actually. So I gave you D2C example, but this is an education example. Here I already shared with you. This one is where your child's unfair math advantage. This is like my ex company where I used to work, and they're selling AI math tutor, and the subtext was the most important because it was coming from Elon, and that was making people click on it. And then you have another one here where we have a health brand that I was working with. The headline just says take control of your health, but left side says get energy and get muscle mass, and that is what my audience really cared about. This is a winning ad, and so you have to make sure that like you have subtext that actually attract people. Especially this is part of the visual as well. So your headline grabs attention. The subtext convinces them to take an action. So this one really did convince them to take an action. Here's what works best: shorter headlines, 7 to 8 words, medium sentences, so like focus on the stage of awareness, problem aware, solution aware, also probably product aware sometimes. And the third thing that you have to make sure is when you're making a subtext or when you're really like writing copy is that every word that you're writing in there has to speak to the audience, the words they're looking. So when you look at this left ad as well, you can see people were looking for well-rounded, positive and resilient person in their kids. Here they're looking for something that is aspirational. And the left side, it's mostly like get energy and gain muscle mass. So it's like every word, choose your words wisely. That's the most important thing. My suggestion for subtext is just make sure that every word you choose is actually carefully crafted. This will help you convert better. Now, let me show you the best format we use. These are the actual format that we use for our clients, and we build everything around them. Number one, my favorite one is actually us versus them. And the reason why us versus them is really good is because it's transformation, it sells, but also us versus them is something that is targeting somebody in the middle of the funnel. And that's why it works really well. So you can see it here is like, become a software developer, bootcamp, and academy, and tells you exact reason why. So if somebody wants to become a software developer, is looking for better solution, this is an ad. There's another one that is old me versus new me. This is for some people who are like actually they going after enemy and older situation that they have gone through. So here the enemy is basically coffee, and they say we have a better version of it. This is a very emotionally interesting visual to watch because they are putting the coffee in the toilet, right? and they're saying this is what you won't get, this is what you get from us. The next one is also another example of us versus them is, yeah, this is the easiest one to copy. And the reason why this is easiest one to copy is because you can have the same visual, add your brand name and wording, messaging that resonates with your audience, and you have voila, us versus them, which looks very much eye-popping. Then this format works really well for me since I worked for Synthesis and education brand. As I said, I've seen this format after leaving the company, but like when I was a kid and my math was a hell, this format has worked really well for me because it's a real testimonial. And you see, like when I was a kid and math was hell is like in pink, and this is deliberate because they wanna make them stand out. The wording that is really important, that is actually resonating with parents. Then we have press screenshot, always works. So what we do is usually like in the press screenshot, we have our own logo or some generic logo, and then we show the image of it, and it always works. Then we have Venn diagram. I showed you the example of it. This is where we took the inspiration from. 2 different benefits, your product, and that's it. Then we have meme ads, and the meme ads work really well is because it's funny, especially when you recreate the meme ads. You can see like lumen free trial bundle and then some random soap angry because of the fact that like the guy is into the trial bundle already and ditching soap, and that's what they want, right? Because this is what they're selling. And so if you recreate ads like this from your own brand, people like to take an action because it just made them funny in that moment. They make them feel. This is like my favorite one in terms of like banger headline. And so they say sleep like a baby, and then 25% off with 30 days money back guarantee. So it's like really popping out on the screen, and it telling you like you will sleep like a baby, you have no risk. So try to incorporate that as well. Then we have calling out audience ad, which basically really calls out business owners. So if you're targeting, especially works really well for lead gen businesses, services businesses that I work for, where I call out the audience and it works like a charm. And there's a better way to reach new customers. And then we have addressing pain point. Here you just tired of dealing with adult acne, and when you don't have a real person, you can actually always show an animation, and I like that. And you see like the subtext here is really important. Tried everything and you're still breaking out all of them. So they're trying to focus on somebody who's already in the middle of the funnel. And then direct compelling offer, which is basically, okay, you're done, you know about us, you know about Smile, and here's what you get money back guarantee if you will not get it. So these are my favorite formats. You don't need new ideas every week. You just rotate these formats and try to make sure that you mix and match and come up with your own headlines, more formats, different way of showing it, and it will work like a charm. You probably heard people say, people don't read ads, they feel. And that's exactly the lens I use when I design the static creatives. I feel them. I make sure I put emotion first. This is the part where you actually separate good ads versus great ads. Static ads are received visually, but they're processed emotionally. The design and copy might catch the eye, the emotional trigger that drives the response. Most users decide whether to engage with an ad in less than 0.3 seconds. It needs to instantly trigger a specific emotional response. If it doesn't spark recognition, desire, tension, or urgency, it gets scrolled past, period. That's why psychology is the core of how I build ads. Let's break down few psychological cues that you need to know before you open Canva or give it to your designer. Number 1, match the emotion of the stage of awareness. Here's what I mean. Is a top of the funnel ad, living with low T is tough. And the reason why this is a top of the funnel ad is because it should spark curiosity or a relatable struggle. Living with low T is a relatable struggle. So then what we tried to do was like we tried to show low T in a different way. And it matches the emotion. Living with low T is tough. And if you want to go for a hike and you're feeling the emotion, so we just iterated on it. Then there's a bottom of the funnel. So in the bottom of funnel ad, you should build trust, security, and the final nudge feeling. And in this ad, what you can see is that we are not trying to sell anything other than telling them the living with low T and living with normal T. And we're just selling them a testosterone replacement therapy in here. The number 2, use the imagery that reflects the problem, not just the product. So if your audience sees their struggle in the image, they will stop scrolling. It's the pattern recognition, not the persuasion. For example, in this ad, we just use the same headline, living with low T is tough. But what we did was we showed the actual struggle. We figured out that a lot of men struggle with the shoulder pain, and that's what we wanted to show in this ad and talk about like how This is so relatable and emotional for them that if they are not able to completely function, and low T is one of the reasons why. Number 3, use intentional colors. Blue build trust, green signals natural and health-based offers, red means urgency or disruption. Black and dark tones will give you premium feeling. And if you want to stand out, use contrasting colors. Use contrasting color blocks, but keep them clean and purposeful. So here what you can see is this in this ad. We use a lot of different colors in this, like black color, different colors here. But you can see here in this ad, we wanted to have intentionality of premium ads. One thing we really figured out was that men really like black color. It feels really premium to them, so they are attracted. So we use that intentionally. Here's a fourth psychological principle that you need to remember. Before you design, write, or give a brief to your team, you need to think about what emotions you want to trigger. What emotion should someone feel when they see the ad? Everything should flow from that answer. Your headline, sub-headline, visual, CTA, or offer, whatever that is. So in this ad, we wanted to focus on one single feeling, which is basically we wanted to make men feel that low T can help you perform better. And we wanted to show a relatable visual that is actually metaphorically very relevant. And so we use that to actually explain that feeling, and that feeling of that I will get my energy back, I'll feel myself again, and the performance pressure is gone is the feeling that we wanted to give them. So you always have to think about how to make them feel something. Pro tip to end the section. The easiest way to test this, take a screenshot of your ad, remove the text, and then ask yourself, does this visual make me feel something? And if the answer is no, go back to the drawing board. So I promise you 5 extra tips. The tip number 1 is whenever you're working with health brands, especially health brands or non-health brand, if there's a technical term that actually resonate with your audience, use that as a headline. That always works. Tip number 2, when you're running ads, you can always start with branded ads, but unbranded ads work way better because that are native to the platform. That doesn't feel like an ad, right? But it's not the same tip, but like unbranded ad works better for us than non-branded ads. Tip number 3, make ad for somebody who is skimming rather than somebody who's actually reading it. Focus on making people skim. And if you can make people skim, they will stop the scroll. Tip number 4, use negatives. Instead of saying improve performance, boost confidence, say something like no more low confidence. That works way better because you start with negative. People pay attention to negative headlines than positive headlines. Tip number 5, for static ads, don't write the copy yourself. Assemble the copy from your customers, from reviews, from wherever you do your research. That works way better than you come up with the headline yourself and try to templatize it. All right, in this video, we covered mind shift most marketers miss when it comes to static ads, the exact copy and image structure you need to drive performance, the format you should be rotating, not reinventing, the psychological cues that you can use to make your ads more emotional and scroll stopping, plus 5 rapid tips you got from me that actually work from my own experiments. It's the same system that I have used to help SaaS, health tech, education and service brands scale profitably faster. I've spent over 50 million in ad budget while constantly testing what works in today's landscape, plus giving it to the marketers from my newsletter as well. If you've made it this far, you know that good static aren't just about design. They're all about understanding human behavior, psychology, elements of an ad, and how you present them. Now, if you want to take this deeper and if you want us to create your static ads as well as your all other ads that actually drive results and scale, then you should check out the performers.io, where you can learn all about our services and book a call. We will do the audit for you. We'll first figure out if you actually need to improve your performance, creative ads, static ads, as well as all other ads for you in a very systematic way, where we implement psychology as well as learn from those ads to give you ads that are scalable and that you can run for a very long time. So check out the performers.io. And if you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe so that I can make better content for you so that you can learn from my insights and get better. So subscribe now.